Greetings and bienvenue. If any of you get that, you may be entitled to a veteran's discount. But, jokes aside, we have two kits to reveal. As I said before in my trailer reveal, if you were able to see that, the Heishou are probably my most anticipated, hyped, favorite new faction that we've had in some time. That doesn't mean that I didn't like the previous factions. Of course, I loved the Butlers and the Blood Fiends, of course, and those were great. But the Heishou were, like, just different for me. I loved their aesthetic, their animations, just everything about them, and I was dying for them not to be the only two new IDs of the Heishou. So I am beyond elated. What I want most for this kit is I want to see purple tier stuff. Obviously, we're getting lots of purple tier things, and like I can already see some names that are just straight up lifted from purple tier's cards, and from the effects and what they're doing, it looks like Lori picked those skills up from here. So let's kind of dig into it. So 2 slash and 1 pierce, interesting. Kind of like how the serpent cards in Ruina are split that way too. We have an envy, a gluttony, and a gloom. You know, kind of a unique configuration. Skill 1, Serpent Glint, 2 coins. On use, gain coin power for every X, sum of this unit's poise potency and target's rupture potency. And on use, gain poise count. Unconditional poise count gain is very nice, and also scaling on poise potency, which is very easy to stack, on top of rupture potency, which is also very easy to stack on enemies. It's a good combo. On that first hit, we're inflicting rupture. On that second hit, we're inflicting rupture. And on a crit, if this unit has serpent arm, which is a buff, inflict rupture. Very nice. 3 rupture potency. Skill 2. Or, well, I mean, 3 accounts of rupture. We don't know what the potency is, but you know what I mean. Skill 2. Snake Fang. 3 coins. We have the same on use for gaining coin power. On a clash win, inflict rupture count. Very nice. We have count inflicting on the second skill. And then a clash win, gain poise count. So 2 count gains on the second skill. Very nice. Very valuable. On that skill 1, or on that coin 1, we're inflicting rupture. On that second coin, we're inflicting rupture count. Another rupture count. Incredible. And on that third hit, at X plus poise, consume Y poise on self to reuse coin once. On hit, inflict Deathrite Venom. And on crit, gain Serpent Arm, which is the buff. This might be one of the most stacked skill 2s I've ever seen. And that's coming from Butler Otis. Look at this skill 2. We have scaling coin power. 2 clash win get an account of rupture and poise count, and then we have a second rupture count already in there. And then on the third hit, we're consuming some poise, which we'll have plentiful of in a poise comp, or one that gets a lot of poise, to reuse the coin, which gives us a 4th coin. I'm just saying, this skill 2 is nuts. I love it. I cannot wait to use it. I guess I'm even more hyped too. The skill 3 is, let's go ahead and see. Serpent Mortal Flurry. Love it. Unfocused Volley. I'm not quite sure what that means. Does that mean you cannot control where it targets? Possibly. I don't quite know, actually. But let's see what else we've got. We've got on use. We're gaining that coin power, same conditional as the other 2. On use, gain clash power equal to Serpent Arm on self. On use, gain Serpent Arm. Depending on how high that stacks. Very solid. And on that clash win, inflict rupture count on all targets. Well, that's it, isn't it? Like, this is clearly one of the best rupture IDs in the game. Just, oh my god. I've never seen that kind of conditional before for rupture, at least. Like, goodness. I cannot wait to see this ID in action. This will be very core to the rupture team, my goodness. On that first coin, We're gaining poise count. Lovely. On that second hit, we are gaining poise potency. And on that third hit, inflict rupture count. So 2 bits of count. And then on crit, reduce deathrite venom on target and reuse this coin once. Another coin reuse on a crit. We have 2 instances of rupture count and poise count and poise potency. This is cracked, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. Now, I will say, I think that's what that means now. I think maybe unfocused volley is pertaining to the rupture count on all targets, because it hits everybody. It doesn't, like, specifically... I could be wrong, definitely. I definitely need to look up the dictation on what that actually means, but, you know, let's just move on for right now. On to the defense skill. It is a unclashable defense, clashable guard, reversal kick, gluttony. Looks like we're going for gluttony for Honglu's Kanto team. Combat start. Gain Serpent Arm next turn. Very nice. You get the self buff. And on use, if this unit has X plus poise, gain coin power. Very nice. So, really nice, solid, unclashable coin. You're getting that buff no matter what. And maybe you could reverse kick somebody. Seems pretty great. On our passive, if this unit has Serpent Arm, deal more damage. If the unit has Deathrite Venom, deal more damage. Thank you, game. You made my job very easy. The passive is just deal more damage, which I think Rodion is going to do a lot of. She seems like she does a lot of damage. Support passive. Intravascular Venom. When one ally with the fastest speed inflicts rupture damage to an enemy, inflict offense level down and defense level down next turn. That is a very easy conditional to meet and very easily manipulatable. Hey, even if you're not using Heishou Pack Rodion, which you should be, putting this in a rupture comp, free offense level down, defense level down is very valuable. I like it. You could definitely see that being useful. But let's go ahead and see what we're getting out of Serpent Arm, by the way, our buff. Max stack of 3. Keep that in mind, because that does mean we'll get plus 3 clash power on that skill 3. Turn end. Gain poise and poise count. Poise and poise count with the buffs. On base attack skill use, if target has rupture, gain poise. Turn end, lose a stack. Okay, so basically, Serpent Arm is your poise generating buff, and you want to always have it up so you're always generating more poise. Poise which can be consumed by the skill 2 to be turned into extra coins to inflict more Deathrite Venom. Now, what is Deathrite Venom? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I don't know. I need to find out right now. Deathrite Venom, base stack of 5. Deathrite. When getting a rupture triggered by a critical hit from the target, lose stack. When losing stacks due to this effect, gain offense level down or defense level down. When losing stacks due to this effect, if stacks drop to 0, take gluttony damage equal to rupture potency on self. Cannot gain additional stacks of this effect while it is already active. That's so cool. It is a ticking time bomb that you trigger yourself by hitting crits on proccing rupture. That is so cool. So you are basically stacking up your poise with Serpent Arm, cashing it in for big crits that proc Deathrite Venom, and then that just, when it hits, boom, gluttony, explosion equal to rupture potency, which should be 99 or something crazy, doubling the damage of your rupture. Holy smokes, I'm in love. I love this kit so much. This might be my new favorite character. I just can't. I'm gonna glaze so crazy these two IDs, because I am so in on this. So cool. But before I get too carried away, let's go and see the man, the myth, the legend, Gregor. That's my boy. Heishou Pack C Branch Gregor, our other ID. We have a // and a Pierce, just like Rodion. Pride, Gluttony and Envy. See, we have a lot of Gluttony and Envy, but looks like they're mixing up that third skill. On that skill 1, we have Snake Fang. It is the same conditional as Rodion's. You gain coin power for every poise potency and target's rupture. Cool. On use, gain poise count, just like Rodion's. Very nice. On hit, first coin, inflict rupture. Second hit, inflict rupture. And on crit, if this unit has Serpent Arm, inflict rupture count. Very nice. Bit of count on the first skill. Love to see it. Another way to use your buffs to your advantage. Skill 2, Blind Sighting Cleave. Same conditionals before. Clash win, inflict rupture count. Clash win, gain poise count, just like Rodion. Incredible. They are really tackling the rupture count problem that rupture has, and they're basically able to continually feed into themselves as long as they're critting. So hey, any ways you can make them crit more often and get that, you know, rupture count up and get that poise count up, we are just smooth sailing. On that first coin, we are inflicting rupture. On that second coin, we're inflicting rupture. And on that third coin, we're inflicting rupture. At X plus poise, consume Y poise on self to reuse coin once. Inflicting Deathrite Venom, and on a crit, gaining Serpent Arm. Pretty much also a 1-for-1 of Rodion's, which I'm fine with. That kit is cracked. But I'm looking at that skill 3 and I see a lot of text. I'm very excited. Serpent Shear Puncturing Arm. Love how they're using Gregor's arm with this. On use, same conditional as before. If this unit has Serpent Arm, gain coin power for every Y sum of this unit's poise potency and target's rupture potency instead. Interesting. Okay, so basically, if you have the buff, maybe it is essentially changing the conditional to make it to where you get a lot more coin power out of it. That's how it reads to me, because we don't have exact numbers. But hey, you know, more coin power, very great, especially for a single coin skill. We need a lot of it. On use, gain Serpent Arm. Cool, we're rebuffing. Clash win. If the target has X plus rupture, gain poise. A little bit of a refresh. On the one coin, deal more damage for every poise potency on self plus rupture potency on target. Already great. If this unit has Serpent Arm, deal more damage on a critical hit. Easy, very great. We're going to be rolling that. On hit, reduce Deathrite Venom on target. On crit, reduce Deathrite Venom on target. On crit, inflict rupture count. On hit, inflict Deathrite Venom. This is a proc and a refresh. This is the, I'm hitting you, I'm proccing your Deathrite, and then if I time it right and I, you know, get rid of the Deathrite and cause that big pop of gluttony damage, boom, it's right back on, because now I've applied it again. So cool. Love that. Love that of just, by strategically playing, you can keep the debuff up 100% of the time, as long as you meet all of the conditionals. Defense skill, another clashable guard, and a unbreakable coin. Same as Rodion's. We're getting Serpent Arm next turn, and also at X plus poise, we're gaining coin power. Passive, Heishou Mutation C. If the target has Deathrite Venom, deal more damage for every Serpent Arm on self. If this unit, reduce the target's Deathrite Venom down to 0, stack, gain, pierce damage up next turn. That's for your skill 3. Skill 3, proc that, and deal more damage. And then, by the way, we're getting pierce damage up so we can do it again. Amazing. I love it. Support passive, like a serpent, flexible, elastic, and unpredictable. Lovely passive name. If this unit is killed in this encounter, every turn at combat start, apply poise to the substituting identity of the earliest deployment order. Hold on. So, are we killing Gregor, guys? Are we going to be killing Gregor to buff Hong Lu or whoever's leading the team? That's kind of messed up. That is a little messed up, but I dig it. That does mean, because it's a support passive, I believe that means Gregor has to be like brought in and substituted in to also get that effect. I could be wrong, but I thought that you only get support passives if they're on your bench. So yeah, I'm very curious about how this is going to look for the team's like playstyle and comp. And we've already covered Serpent Arm and Deathrite Venom. Wow. Wow. To start the season, 2 very strong IDs. 2 very strong, thematically cool, very awesome IDs. I cannot wait to get both of them. I cannot wait to build this entire new team. I am in heaven. And I hope you all sincerely are enjoying this as much as I am. Now, I am a little curious. Give me one moment. I'm going to do some Googling to check out what I should have probably prepared before I saw this, but this is the problem with doing the kits off the cuff. So there are only 2 kits with... Oh, right. Honglu's new kit has Unfocused Volley too. I did not do that. That was my bad. I never got to doing that kit reveal, and then he came out, and then it's like, well, you know, what are you gonna do? So, Honglu's also does that, and I believe it's where it also just targets random people, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, but all I know is Unfocused Volley kind of works like that. So, hey. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's hope that we're not hitting our friends with that volley. Let's hope we're only hitting our enemies. So, hey. As long as we're hitting rupture count on all the enemies. Oh, that's what it probably is. Yeah, you're flying around the place hitting everyone, and then you're inflicting rupture count on whoever you hit. So, just make sure you're hitting your allies, Rodion. Just do that for me, please. Thank you. Very much appreciate it. Alright. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Happy to be getting back into doing things. I know I missed out on Honglu, but I promise I will be hitting all the Heishou IDs when they come. Thank you for all the love and support, and God, I cannot wait for Honglu's Kanto. His days are actually numbered to 3 days from now, probably, you know, considering Korean time. So, thank you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!